Yo, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video with your host Ken Kukin. And I apologize for the delay on the YouTube video. We are coming to the end of the season, going into the season of the Chosen. And someone asked me just a moment ago, yesterday, Ken, do you have any videos on this map? And I'm like, I think I have a call out video from a long time ago, but not really. I didn't expect to see this map. I did expect to see it at some point in time. I just didn't expect it so soon. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to set this up for about 20 minutes. I don't know if we're going to take 20 minutes, but we're going to go ahead and launch it. Um, and then I'm going to go over here because I don't want Shax to interrupt my train of thought today. And we're going to turn all volume down to nothing. Okay. I hope I remember what that was. Watch my own video to find out, huh? So we're going to come up with not a call out video, but we're going to come up with basic tips you can remember. Now this map, I would say, is a relatively unbalanced map. It is not very balanced, it's not very fair. And it's an old relic that needed to never come back. That it just never should have returned. Now, with that said, keep in mind that this is the final weekend of trials. The player base is at one of its lowest, if not the all-time low. Because stasis have come out, people dislike stasis. People are out of rewards together. They don't need anything. There's nothing left to do. So let me give you a quick history lesson. In D1, I Mida and Snipe. So what did I do? I played very rangy. I played very back. Depending on the enemy is how I adapted. So so you spawn inside. On the let's say you spawn inside. I would say inside is the most important spawn. Now we're back to D2. I would say inside is the most important area and spawn. Why? Because overtime will spawn here. Heavy will spawn there when it's heavy round. You control the inside, you usually can control the game. Now, with that said, keep in mind there's going to be a lot of teams out there that you're going to run into that are running stacked. And when I mean stacked, I mean not just friends that play with friends, but when I say stacked, I'm saying 3 average or above average people that are whooping yo ass. All right, that's what stacked means. All right, the team at the time is a team good enough to take you out. So with that being said, you're probably going to run into a lot of stacked teams, see a lot of tough games. Maybe you're playing with your friends, maybe you're playing with a group of people that try to help others out. Whatever the case may be, it's going to be a tough weekend. The longer the season goes, the more tough it's going to get. So keep that in mind. Now, fundamentally, there's a couple of things you can do. So let's say you spawn up here. There are one of two things you can do. Well, there's multiple things, but there's one of two main things you probably want to do. If you have a sniper on the team, I would say the sniper would go over here. And the sniper would come on down here, and he's going to probably snipe across the wheels. Now, round one, the wheels, I think most of the time will be like this, going down, ready to come up. But every once in a while, the first round of the game, and I think it depends on how long it takes to load into the game, actually. Because once it shows the loading screen, I think these are already turning once you're flying into the map. And it's presenting your teams. But every once in a while, the wheels will be up, and you can shoot across and through the map. I would say a sniper could go here and, kind of like scope. I would also say another, one person does that. One person can go all the way over here, right? And be ready to, be ready to engage anything that rushes up the stairs. And then you can come over here. And one person can be on the bridge. This is the basic setup I would take. Now, you got to watch for snipes, right? So now these are basic setups. I guess I'll go with the basic setup. So the basic setup, you can kind of, you can come on over here. You can look here. And by the time the guy on the bridge gets here, the guy across will already be calling out if one came through or not, depending on how slow they got to that lane. This person at library is 100% going to be telling you guys if there's something on the radar. So there's no question. And the person at the bridge probably sees something on the radar right about here as well. Another setup is you could have 2 go left and 1 go right. So you could have the second person go over here. The only thing that does is it exposes the person at A from getting pushed by multiple angles, right? So let's say no enemy, I come over here, boom, nothing on the left. You guys are on, the left, and you start to move forward. A guy jumps in that door. I come out of my scope. A guy jumps in that door. I see on the radar someone's over here. I have to back up. So I have to back up from him. I can challenge this, but there's a chance I'm challenging a 2v1 if the person from the middle pushes me. And we don't even know where the third guy is. We're just throwing it out there. The guy could come to the bridge and try to collapse on me and push me even farther back. And let's say he jumps on the bridge and I start run farther back. He sees on the radar, hey, I'm over here. Now he's here. And now I have to hope you guys are about to engage him. And then I have to hope I'm not going to get shot from there, right? So, again, there's a lot of movement. Maps like these where you're trying to outmaneuver enemy teams, it's going to be like a game of chess, right? You're just constantly moving your team around to counter the enemy team. That's all maps like these ever are. Now, yes, there are other strategies you can employ. Haha, the memes, here they come, right? You could just rush out at the team. That's an option. I wouldn't recommend that option, but it's an option. But we're going to say, let's say this is like a more passive team that you're playing against and they're not rushing, or maybe it is a rushing team and you're just trying to survive. All right, so that's, basic setup number 1 and 2. I would say most teams, when they spawn outside, they're going to probably rush in through, someone's going to come in through that door, or they're just going to play the outside and you're going to have a radar. And now, what if a team plays outside and nobody on your team has ranged weapons on right now and it's a tough team to play against? Well, I hate to recommend it, but I'm going to say it right now. 3-peek. If you need to 3-peek, I hate you for it. I don't like you for it, but it's not your fault. If the enemy team's already doing it from round 1, well, they're worse. They're worse than you because they started it, right? You're just trying to finish it. So 3-peek, but you got to be ready. I wouldn't 3-peek right here and then a dome nade, a dome nade travels like 5 feet and pulls you out because you don't have enough reaction time to 3-peek here and then shade step away. So, give yourself plenty of distance. I also wouldn't trap yourself here either anymore. Not against the stasis. Here's okay. In fact, right here is kind of okay because you can, if the dome nade, if you see the dome nade, you start to walk backwards. Now, if you're moving when the dome nade hits the ground, that's going to stop you from getting pulled towards the dome nade the most. You got to just already be moving kind of away. You don't have to do like jumping and hopping, just kind of move away, right? And hope 2 are not thrown at you. But yeah, you could sit back here. Heck, you can even sit back here. But the goal is to try and keep them from coming inside. Now, there's not a lot of snipers anymore. And what I mean by that, there are plenty of snipers, but people are a lot more aggressive. Okay, so let me restate that. People are more aggressive. Where a lot of people used to challenge snipes like this, and I did some sniping this weekend, and the probably half a dozen games I did, people didn't challenge me from down here. They would slide snipe with the arbalist, or they just slide in, shade step, keep on pushing, right? They're just pushing. And we'll cover that in a moment. So it wasn't a traditional, all right, I'm hard scoping this lane, and the dude's going to strafe in front of me and shoot, right? I have to be a little bit better to get those snipes. I have to be able to hit the moving target. And because I don't snipe as much, it's harder for me to do. So if you're that person that's using a traditional non-arbalist sniper and you're not landing those slide snipes and the team is sliding, pushing, and moving at you and keep closing the distance, it's time to stop sniping. It's time to do something else. You want something close range, maybe a fusion, right? Maybe, when they come across that corner next time, you're going to have a fusion waiting for them or a shotgun or something like that. All right, had to pause the recording. So we're back, just trying to cook some food at the same time and get everything ready for my day. So, once you're not good enough to snipe the people, you need to pull out a different weapon. That's another, basic tip to understand. Am I dying? Okay, I keep dying every single round and I'm the first one dead. Why? Because someone exactly, say it in your head, say it out loud to your team. I am coming over to the right side and I'm getting outgunned. Okay, how many people are coming to the right side? 1, 2, 3. Okay, what's killing you? Hand cannons, fusions, shotguns, like what weapon archetype? Okay, so now you've identified, let's say, oh, it's 2 people and it's team shot hand cannons. You probably don't want to peek that, or you want to be farther back where they're, you're going to want to be closer to cover, right? You're going to, peek, shoot, and then be in cover. What if it's one? Well, it's one guy, and it's a a fusion. Well, don't be in fusion range. And again, right? It's like, okay, well, how do I keep them out of fusion range, Ken? One, two, right? He runs through. You're gonna shoot. Pretend I'm actually shooting a person and not a wall. You're gonna shoot him. He's gonna slide. Maybe you get 2 bullets in before he moves, and then it's grenade city, right? You throw your grenade. Now pulls him, pushes him, something, damages, maybe even finishes him off, depending on what grenade you have. Because you're gonna throw the grenade down there. Right now you have your asset of a grenade, and you're trying to keep him farther away so you can finish the job. Now, if he has worm husk or anything like that, or you think his health is too high before you can get in there, you just go ahead, call it out, give it up, and back up, right? Once you identify that you are losing or that you're dying, and then you identify how you're dying, that's when you can start making adjustments. I'm dying to snipers. Stop looking at snipers. Okay? And check this out. All right? Pow! I'm shot from the left side of the map. Okay. Now this is me sometimes. It's like, hey, don't challenge a sniper. Okay. Do. Pow! Hey, I told you not to challenge a sniper. I didn't challenge a sniper. Look here. I've said the analogy before, and I'll say it again. And I'll have a good clip for next time I say it. Just because you didn't see Mama Bear and Mama Bear's cubs, when you come walking past Mama Bear don't care whether you see her or not. Mama Bear's going to attack. All right? You're coming by Mama Bear's cubs. All right? Just because you didn't make eye contact with that sniper doesn't mean he's not going to take the snipe. I guess the best snipers are the ones not seen. I don't know if there's a quote. I don't know how realistic, but snipers aren't meant to be seen, right? So it's not that you're engaging a sniper, right? There's a difference between engaging a sniper and challenging a snipe lane. All right, we'll be very specific. A snipe lane. You have walked through. At this point, where do the snipe lane? What is a snipe lane, Ken? Anywhere a sniper can be, man. And at this rate, with Arbalest the way it is, and some other snipers, but mainly Arbalest. I played a team this weekend, and there was this Arbalest user. It didn't matter where he came from, how close or how far he was. That Arbalest never missed it. That's how busted that was. So literally, any piece of the map was his snipe lane. It was just, from me to him. Boom. I've died to him at this range. I missed a shotgun. He just Arbalest headshot me. I died from him out there. I've died from him from maximum range. I've died from him from jump. Like, it was, Arbalest is dumb. So anyway, neither here nor there on that topic. So a snipe lane is any conventional lane that enemies are going to be in. So here's a snipe lane. Here's a snipe lane. Here's a snipe lane. It's anywhere where someone's going to be brave enough to walk out with their sniper and shoot you. Slide out, shoot you, jump out, shoot you, shade step out and shoot you, right? That's a snipe lane. So once you identify how aggressive snipers are going to be, then you need to adjust. All right. So, Ken, what do we do? And we're going to cover the outside in a moment. Ken, what do we do if we're inside and we want to hold it for overtime? We're building for supers, so on and so forth. It's 3 doors, and it's 3 people on each team. Each person has to take their own door and use the radar. If you're right here and the wheel is up like this, hey, I have nothing on my radar to the left. There's no one playing invisible on the enemy team. I can kind of shift my attention maybe a little bit more towards mid to help out the person in the mid. All right, same thing on the right side. Oh, the radar says there's no one here. I can kind of shift my attention here, right? And now I'm ready to help with the mid or kind of walk over here and team shot the left if the left is called out. You just don't get tunnel vision and aim down your sights all day, and now you get shot in the back because your lane that you're supposed to be watching happens to be exposed. Now, let's go to the outside. Let's cover the last 6 minutes on the outside. So, Ken, what would you do? What are some tips? You spawn outside. All right, well, every other round, you're going to spawn one place or the other. So every other round, you're getting the outside spawn. Back in the day, if you were a good rush team, this was your play, and you could still do it. I've seen plenty of teams do it. They just rush in. It's ape time, ape city, baby, boom. Again, round 1, when the wheel normally will be down covering you, and that part will be right about here or so, right? So at worst, you're going to get sniped from the far across the map. You just slide in, shade step, all that extra stuff. and just rush in and take over the inside. Now you can take over this lane. Now it's okay. What do we do? Do we push all the way back and kill anything back here? The more you spread out, the better off you're gonna be. Because if you stay too stagnant, you're gonna get collapsed on with grenades and all this other abilities that the enemy team may have, especially if it's round one. Okay, what if we can't get inside? Then you're gonna have to play the 3-man door. You could have someone, if they like to use scout rifles, you could have someone right about here, right? Now this is where the Mida came in really handy for me. I would sit back here with Mida, boom, and my radar would tell me, oh, someone's coming left. I'm looking left, whoop, and now I'm shooting, right? Again, if you're trying to challenge the Arbalest, is even riskier, but you can have one person watch the door. He can be here and kind of watch 2 angles. Got to watch for nades that pull him out or freeze him. You can have someone watching the mid from here. You can have someone watching the right side, and the right side is probably more isolated than the mid and the left are from each other. And you can have someone watching the right side here. Now, also keep in mind, if you do have someone watching the mid door from right about, I would say probably from ground level, from like here or even here. If someone pushes out that door and goes that way, that could endanger your teammate. It could be one person and then 2 coming out the right? It could endanger your teammate. So just keep that in mind. You got to be able to react quickly. Oh, someone rushed out the door. What should I do? Probably jump up here, right? And they could be getting ready to jump up at you. So jump up here, listen for them. Are they jumping up at you? Shade step back, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. And then you're playing for super and you're just taking your time. Okay, it's overtime, Ken. We're outside. What happens next? Well, you got to fight your way in. Like, you have to fight your way in. There's no other way around it. Now, you could all come from the same angle. Now, I played with some really good teams this weekend, and I've seen my team rush right in the middle. I was here, and I watched it. We got a pick, and it was right about here. The pick happened here. Teammate number 1 rolled up in there, something like this, with like triple jump, and he jumped over this way, and boom, shotgunned. Teammate number 2, and this was all within the span of a moment. Teammate number 2 jumped up to about here, shotgun. And I was a little slow on the uptake because I didn't know we were rushing in. I was about to say, hey, I got a grenade for that body. When my teammates rushed in, I seen it all, and I'm just looking here like I was dumbfounded. I'm just like, Guardian down. Guardian, you're the last one standing. And I just like kind of walk up, and I'm like, all right, let me shotgun this dude. Boom, shotgunned. And I just get mapped by whatever shotgun it was. So 2 things to remember. 1, when you get a body, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to rush in there. All right, if you're playing against a team of 3 Titans, if you don't have a nade for that body, you better have a dang good team shot. And I mean, pull out your snipers. No longer do you need a sniper rifle bullet, right, for the res, because you can't even shoot the res if they get it up. You need to get rid of that shield, so you need to expend some of that special ammo if you're the one with a lot of it, right? Say you have 4 in your magazine, and then you have like 8 in reserve. You better shoot 3, 1, 2, right? And you got your team shooting with a primary. You got someone else maybe with a fusion or something else with a primary. You got to get rid of that shield. And then even if they get the guy up from cover, your team's shooting already, right? Or you throw a grenade. Oh, they got a shield. Throw a grenade. Boom. Right? Throw it to the side. Pull them off the body. There are all sorts of things. But if there's not a Titan or you killed the Titan on the team, there's no rush to get in there. There's nothing the enemy can do but take cover and get a revive, or kill you and get a revive. And that's where you have to take your time. Then it's like, communicate. Hey, what should we do? Well, let's send someone in on the flank. Okay. So the enemy's either going to push a 2v2, right? So here I'm leaving my teammates. They're either going to push a 2v2, they're going to fall back, or they're going to push me, right? 1 of 3 most likely scenarios. And then you just kind of close in, and then, oh, they're pushing me on the left. Okay, let's rush into the right. Boom. Now we have body secured. The other guy can fall back, rotate out, come around, come in. We have overtime. We have a body. It's all going in our favor. And the other thing that needs to be done, if you get the body and you're about to go Rambo up in there, say, hey guys, I'm pushing. We got this body. Let's go. Boom. You can play for your super too. I've seen a lot of people kind of apprehensive or scared. Push in with supers. Know how your super works. Know what it does. I have a Nova Bomb. I can kind of get in the doorway and just kind of throw it. I have, a roaming stasis super. I could just kind of get in the door, or pop it and then just go in and go to town. I got Chaos Reach. As long as I don't get shot, I can kill anything I look at, right? So you got options, guys. It's a tough map. Don't think that, there's once as the map gets tougher, it's harder to employ any strategy because then it's going to come down to, and don't hate your teammates for it, or anything like that. There's no reason to be toxic or mean about it. It's just a fact, and understand as a teammate, it's just a fact. You're gonna win or lose based on how well your team can play. If you got a teammate on your team that can't hold a lot of his 1v1s or doesn't know how to engage 1v1s or 1v2s or 1v3s, and they don't know how to read the situations, it's going to be tougher. Why? Because it's the end of the season, and Trials is just that much tougher, and the player base is that much smaller. It's just how it's always been when it comes to the end of the season. So when it comes to employing team strategies or plays or anything like that, whatever you want to call it, communication with your teammates on a play that you're about to make, it could crumble because it's just that tough of a weekend. And it's not that it was a bad play, right? There could have been something a little bit better you could have done individually, as the person that got picked. Oh, I got picked. I could have did this a little bit better. Or I should have really had my grenade ready for this push. It's not just that. It's so tough that no matter what strategy you employed, you had to be good enough to pull it off. It couldn't just, it's not just going to work because you came up with a strategy and employed it against an enemy team. You have to be good enough to pull it off individually and as a team, right? And the smaller the player base and the longer the season, the tougher the games get. So again, don't be like, oh man, well Ken told me to do this and it never works. He must suck. No, and I'm not gonna say you suck. It's just that it's that tough out there, right? So maybe no matter what you did at that moment, it was almost an impossible task, and and that's where you have to. Okay, we can't do this against this team. We need something else. We need something else needs to work in our favor. That's where the supers come in. That's where your abilities come in. They give you that little breathing room. It's not just a gun game with people hopping up and down in front of doors waiting for you to walk in. Grenade them out. Maybe you're using the wrong grenade for the situation. Maybe you're using the wrong super for the play. Consider coming off stasis for a round. There might be a better option. There might be a better play. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate it. I hope this video helps. Consider subscribing, thumbing up, all that good stuff. Let me know in the comment section below. How'd you feel this weekend? How tough was it? For me, it was really tough. I had a lot of tough games. And I felt like the cards that did go flawless, I felt like most of them were stacked, and I just pulled, I pulled people that I thought played well and was from my friends list, and sometimes, a raffle winner won over on Twitch, and we went flawless with them. But I felt like most of the times I went flawless this weekend was just a straight up a team of good players, right? And I'm probably the worst of the three, and we just win, and that's it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you all next time.